Co-op is here with no rest for the Wicked's next update happening January 22nd. They have a fantastic video illustrating all the upcoming changes coming, so be sure to check it out. The link is in the description. I will briefly go over what is coming with this update and my thoughts on those changes. I'm Invictus, and let's shed some light on it. The first thing mentioned in the video is the state of multiplayer realms. We'll be able to start new realms with our friends that are persistent game states that do not require the host to be active for other players to play. That is massive. Not only is it a fantastic feature, it is free. From what we can see, they offer 4 slots per realm. This seems to be persistent, so once invited to your realm, those players will be able to come and go freely, with the owner able to kick and add at their discretion. As expected, players are free to go where they want within their realm when they want. It also appears that you aren't forced to make new characters when creating a multiplayer realm. You'll be able to add friends with their leveled characters for some fun. We are not limited in these ways, and I think it is great. What is limited though is the loot. It is handled in a first come, first serve fashion, encouraging communication and transparency between your team. This is something that will definitely test friendships, so be sure to invite only those you trust. What is not made clear is how loot will respawn or not, or to what frequency. In solo play, I can turn off my game and come back to effectively reset the loot and spawns. I wonder how this will work here. With that said, we'll be able to trade freely with our friends at any time, making an exchange of items simple. It is then explained that playing with friends means the world will change from how you encounter it in solo play. Not only will you find different enemies, but there will be more of them and they'll be more difficult to fight. This is fantastic. Making the game more challenging with friends is key in my opinion. Along with the scale and difficulty, you'll also have to be accurate in your strikes. You can hit your own friends and damage them as you attack. That's right, friendly fire is a thing, and I love it. It does make me wonder about homing attacks though, I won't lie. No Rest for the Wicked doesn't want you to button mash to overwhelm the enemies, but to strategically work in tandem with your friends. It also gives you the freedom to kill your partners if you so choose, which can make for some interesting scenarios. I definitely approve of all of this, big time. What is beautiful about this is they boast that the enemy AI will react to your strategies and act with intelligence. Something we will have to test ourselves, which I cannot wait to do. This is said to extend to the bosses, who will even come with new abilities. Wow! When a teammate falls in battle, they'll turn into a blue orb and can be resurrected. Resurrecting a player costs health, so it isn't just a free reset. You can also see that even though our allies are down, they still recruit XP normally. I can definitely appreciate that. Teamwork extends past the battlefield too. We will now be sharing the ownership of properties. Property doesn't have to be shared though. It appears that players can purchase properties freely and individually, as they illustrate Thomas's greed in the video. So be aware and discuss with your team which house you want. However, it seems that we will be able to transfer ownership of said properties. As they discuss in the video, Thomas intended to sell the property he bought to his teammates, something they considered working around by kicking Thomas from the realm, which taught us that realms can have multiple owners. This also shows us that our realms won't be forever destroyed by inviting the wrong person in, who may exploit us. Permissions at a property seem to be an all or nothing toggle, as shown in the video. If given access to the house, players can alter it as they see fit. They also show that despite sharing a property, they still can set chests to be private, a relief for a few people, I am sure. Other features that are coming with this update are pretty huge within themselves. One is the revamped bow mechanics. They'll now be two-handed weapons with their own movesets, which so far looks amazing. That isn't all either. We are now getting quivers to go with our bows to give them elemental arrows and such. This is mentioned to be added in addition to other offhand items set to come out at some point. Exciting stuff here. Another change that is coming is the shop vendors are now selling different items each day, creating some spice and checking with them regularly. Speaking of items, crafting is getting a big adjustment. They're introducing a scribe table for research. Research requires research papers, which can be found during gameplay. If an item has been obtained once, you can now research it and make that item, which means now all items are craftable. If you didn't find an item you want, you can use a random research feature to possibly unlock your desired item. With this change, hopefully we'll see some cosmetic features added down the line to create that perfect look for our characters, but we don't know. Interestingly enough, we also are getting a new little icon to let us know that our weapons or equipment is wearing out in durability. Something that can be gleaned from the gameplay footage is that crafting tables now seem to have tiers, so we should expect to craft better tables for better items. I'm unsure if it symbolizes this or not, but there are shields under each item that are either yellow or green. It appears green symbolizes higher tier items, but I can't say for sure. Enchantments are getting some love in the game too, with added varieties. A really nice touch. More is always better. They further reworked enchantments so that now it is more closely tied to an item's level. The higher the level, the more enchantments it can have. This isn't all though. They've also added critical damage to weapons, so that now there is a chance for splashes of extra damage. I can't wait to see this in practice. On top of that, they've added facets to weapons. Almost like personalities, they read as clumsy, keen, and etc. These effects offer new stats to weapons, often in exchange for another. As you can see, keen increases the crit chance at the cost of poise damage. One change that may be unpopular is that now we are limited on how many times we can reroll our item enchantments, forcing players to delve back into the thralls of the world to find new items to get that perfect mix. To counter that news, our socketed gems now give fixed values instead of random rolls, something that I think is fantastic. Going further, they've now made it so that only completed items can be exalted, meaning they need max level, all sockets filled, and max enhancements. At that point, they can be exalted a limited number of times, and it appears to enhance a random enchantment by 50% each time. Another great feature coming is the Compendium, where you can soon enjoy a bestiary and comprehensive breakdown of the world on top of rewatching cutscenes. A really nice feature. To round out the video, they say they're adding more enemies to make the hardest difficulty even harder. So the masochists out there are getting some love too. This is all amazing and illustrates to me a studio hard at work and listening to their fan base. I love it. Tell me what you think. Get in the comments and tell me what you feel about all these changes. Do you love it, hate it, or you just not care? It all matters to me. With that said, huge shout out and thank you to my soldiers. I deeply appreciate your support. You guys are the ones that keep the lights glowing, me going, and the content flowing. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the links down below in the description. And yeah, until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye.